uniqueness of the work of Arizmendiarrieta, in my opinion, is that he can create a cooperative business social work, a work that integrates all sectors of a community. In addition, it is a work that goes beyond the local community. It becomes a work of national and international character. That is, one of the best known and more internationalized companies that the Basque Country and Spain have.
It is something unique in the world in that sense. The cooperative formula is being run in a school, in a university, in research centers, in the industry, in the bank, well, different sectors that have cooperativized. In addition, all of this is integrated in a group and articulated in network. That is something that makes this cooperative experience unique.
When I receive diplomatic delegations, I find that people do not know about the person of Father José María Arizmendiarrieta, and yet they know his work.
The search for balance between business logic and values, because something that confirms this cooperative experience is that you can make profitable and sustainable companies over time, but which work with other values.
Those three terms, the technical, the social, and the spiritual, I think they are not easy to be put together in a single project, and I think that may be the genius work of Arizmendiarrieta.
The cooperative movement of Mondragon arises in a certain moment of another need. There were many needs to be met, a thirst for important social justice and a desire to humanize the company. We had to change the company. It did not respect human dignity, and something had to be done in a different way.
Humanism, cooperation, and social justice. I want to emphasize those values.
He drank from the priest movement of Victoria, which is later expressed in people and in very different pastoral developments. But that certainly places the emphasis in priestly holiness.
What was the famous motto like?
Always, only, and in everything, priest.
He settled his religious vocation, and he probably matured it by watching the horrors of war. He decided to take the path of the poor, of the workers, of the person, and of their community formation. Many influences came from one place and another to get him involved in an incipient Basque movement at that time, and rejected all those temptations to focus on what he had decided.
He was ordained at this altar in 1941, and he was destined to Arasate, to Mondragon, and there he spent practically his whole life.
I arrived at the Mondragon station on February 5th, 1941. In this municipality, south of Guipúzcoa, there was no bread, nor meat, nor oil, neither legumes, nor sugar, nor coal, nor electricity, nor hope for a lost youth. Spain was dominated by fascism, and in Europe an atrocious war was taking place. I, who wanted to have continued my sociology studies in Leuven, was assigned by the bishop to the parish of San Juan Bautista, where I would act as coadjutor, helping the parish priest for the rest of my life.
Then this coadjutor, assistant pastor, becomes ferment of the parish.
The Victoria bishop ordered him to be preceptor of the Catholic objection, coadjutor for Catholic action. And in the same sense, he found in the apprenticeship school the most important nucleus of young people that could become members of the Catholic Association on character and people relationships subjects.
One of the perpetual theses of Mr. Jose Maria was that something had to be done.
The main merit of his is to indicate the way, give a clue, create enthusiasm, and carry on. There are no economic nor legal problems nor anything that could stop them.
We collaborated in everything, in league, in everything, everything. If we had to look for an apartment for a student of the professional school, we did. Anti-tuberculosis, too.
So, as it is seen, he did not stop. He did not leave them in peace.
The way Mr. Jose Maria used to confess people was totally different from all the priests with whom I confessed. He was looking to give you criteria to improve your behavior patterns. He carries all the projects with the idea of integrating the two communities under the symbol of the professional school. At the professional school, children come together and are not asked what family they come from.
There was a capital increase, 20% to the capital of the Union Carrera. That 20% was proposed to be given to the workers. Don Camilo Bastareccia, who was the director and a great person, said no. The right of the partners was inalienable. We would have been honest officials, nothing more. He already extended our lives. Because just as people retire at 65, I retired at 90. I have not retired yet. We had no idea what the company was going to be like, huh? We just wanted to have a more social company.
Ormayeksha, Goranochia, and someone else are going to start a company. Oh, I want to join that.
Finally, 12 million pesetas were accumulated with contributions from people of Mondragon, and with that, the first investments are made. We must agree with the management plan and approve it today.
And where are you going to get the money for the expansion?
What if we set up a bank? Our own bank?
Go away, Mr. Jose Maria. We have too much work to hear such nonsense. He came in, opened the door, saw that we were on a board of directors meeting, and said that we had to create a bank. I said angrily, "Go away, Mr. Jose Maria. We have too much work to hear such nonsense."
That was the mother of all the cooperatives that come behind, because it was the one that financed the other cooperatives in Euskadi.
Not only that, there was also a great enthusiasm. Caja Laboral was not only a financial entity, it had a business division to create and to promote cooperative companies. It played both roles, the creation of companies and a financial institution.
Arizmendiarrieta, on the other hand, combined utopia and practice. He thought there had to be space, but the practice was also very important. He was a thinker very devoted to action. He was constantly doing and reflecting on that.
He had 1, common sense. 2, a high level of moral demand, very high. And a prevalent destiny of the community. That is to say, in the dilemma between community and individual, the interest of the community must prevail.
In Mondragon, many people are upset because of you.
Why? Who?
Businessmen, mind that you do not lavish your gifts upon the ungrateful. That's what they tell me when they come to complain because their best workers go to cooperatives. The civil governor of Guipúzcoa wants to banish you from Mondragon. Some industrialists believe that you were the agitator of this year's general strike.
Surely, they will be the same ones who want us out of the market.
Look, Father, you will be able to stay in Mondragon, but in return, I only ask one thing. Promise me that you will be silent for 6 months.
But
6 months until everything calms down. That's an order.
he translated intelligence into works, because he said that ideas, if not translated into works, are useless.
He was austere by definition, then by necessity, and then by concept.
He once came home and said, Javier, I have to go to Germany. Yes, I know you have to go to Germany. But I do not have a coat. He came to ask for my coat to go to Germany. He created all this and never had anything.
In February 1976, when he was horrified of operating room, 2 days before his death, the Minister of Labor, Álvaro Rengifo Calderón, came to visit him. When they said goodbye, Uncle José Marie made a reflection. He said the following words, "Álvaro, looking back is an offense to God. You have to always look forward."
I also remember a few days before he died, he said, "Look, as I follow Christ, what I do, I promote, I want, or desire is the development of man."
He gave our lives a sense. He gave us a motive, a reason, a sense to work, to delude, to develop, to create. In the end, the motto, he said, was create and not own, act and not win, progress and not dominate. That is the motto I like the most because it means create, create, create. Owning is another problem. It is not the bishop or the pope who demands that cause. It is the group of faithful that has lived with him, usually called fame of holiness. In that case, these disciples were interested in him. They knew him in youth. I think that was the key to meet José María Arizmendiarrieta.
When this economic initiative started, Father Arizmendiarrieta gave work to the people so they produced. He did it only to do something good for someone.
He did, as the Pope says, very often solve people's problems, doing and letting do, helping others.
Pope Francis insists that solemn declarations are not enough, but that concrete measures are necessary to face the real problems. In that sense, he thinks like Arizmendiarrieta, who also repeated that thoughts that are not translated into words do not work, and words that are not translated into facts are not valid, that the economic system is something monolithic and impregnable. But Arizmendiarrieta showed you that you can do things locally, and if many of us encourage each other to change our community, we are contributing to change the world. To do that, of course, we will need the help of the Church.
We so need to reflect, so need to rectify, so need to mature. There is always one more step to take, and that is when we get to be noble. What we can never be is triumphalist.